Welcome to Modernizing Old Hymns. Today I'd like to do a study on hymn number 343 in the Lutheran hymnal, How Lovely Shines the Morning Star. There's actually several hymns in the Lutheran hymnal that use this melody, and in the Lutheran service book as well. Now in the hymnal, this hymn is in the key of E flat. That's difficult to play on the guitar. But we can lower it to C. This hymn has got a simple structure to it, just the 8 notes of the scale, no notes above or below it, and no accidentals, no sharps or flats. We can lower this to the key of C, and it's still perfectly singable in the key of C. I think maybe even a little better. Yeah, so let's have a little fun with this one too. Okay, here I have a kalimba, a 17-key kalimba. It's in the key of C. And if you can see the letter C on here, it's a 17-key kalimba, the most common kind out there. The word kalimba is of African origin. Some people call this a thumb piano. It's ingeniously designed, really. If you play 3 of the keys in a row, you get a chord. It's kind of designed that way. I'll explain that a little more later. The way I'm going to play this is the way I've often played it on the guitar. I'm going to play a melody note, and if it's an extra long note, 2 beats or more, I'm going to play the chord to fill up the rhythm there. Now, down below in the description, there's links to the sheet music if you would like to follow along. What I've done here, this is the version in the key of C. I've just come up with an automatic way of picking the chords. All right. If I see a C, an E, or a G note, I'm going to play a C chord. If I see a D or a G, I'm going to play a G chord. And if I see an F or an A, I'm going to play an F chord. Just automatically. I cannot play the alternate chords here. I can't play a suspended chord on this instrument. It's just not going to work. And of course, I'll play a C right here. I can, however, play the A minor. So here we go. Try to see what I'm doing here. Fermato, hold that C note. Here comes the high note. A minor. And the last one, I can play the C chord 2 different places. Now there's another way you can automatically play chords on this device. It's arranged so that if you play the C note and get 2 more keys above that, play all 3 of those in a row, you've got the C major chord. If you play the D note, those 3 together make the D minor chord. E, E minor, F, F major, G, G major, and if you go 1 more, you get the the G7th chord, that is. A minor, B diminished, B diminished, yeah. Actually, in the older classical music, that chord was often used for this very reason. It's kind of a scientific way of approaching chord making. In modern music, we usually go one below that too, and play the G7th again. And then it starts over again on C. So this is what it would sound like with that automatic sort of tuning. Okay, these are really pretty inexpensive. If you want to hear the rest of that song, I'll let you just get one yourself and have fun with it. And now I'm going to play the exact same thing on the guitar. A minor here. Now I'm going to play it my favorite easy way of playing on the guitar. If this is the melody note, I'm going to strum the chord up to that note only. Now in the key of C, I start at the bottom of the C chord, lowest note. So I can only play one note that time. As long as you keep the rhythm going, it'll sound pretty nice, not like me. Another thing I can do this time, if you've got the sheet music here, if you've got the sheet music and you want to write all the chords in like I described down here, go right ahead if that helps you out. This time, though, I can also add these alternative chords here. So let's see how that sounds. Single C there. Single C. The A minor. And on that single C note. Now I'm going to play it in the key of D. D is closer to the E flat that the hymnal has it in. Again, I have the same sort of problem. I can only start on a single note. One of the drawbacks of playing in the key of D on the guitar is that it doesn't have the pretty bass to it that other guitar keys have. A couple of things I can do to help that a little bit is when I play an F sharp, that's fourth string, fourth fret, I'm going to play that open fifth string below it as well. Gives that one a little bass. There's one place where I can throw it in with the D too. I'm also going to throw in those alternative chords. You need to play an E suspended here. How do you play that? Well, it's your E chord. And then put your little finger on the third string, second fret, and we'll strum up to the second note. Remember, suspended chords don't get held for very long. So the next time you play, take that little finger off and then go to the A. And so on. Here we go. There's that F sharp. E suspended. A. Back to the D. Single D. F sharp. B minor. And on that single D. If you'd like to get a little more bass in here, something you could experiment with is sixth string, second fret, throwing an extra F sharp in there. All right. Another thing you can try is drop D tuning. So what I did here is I tuned the sixth string down one octave lower than the fourth string. So I now have two open D strings on the guitar. And if I start out here, it'll start like this. Now we got some bass to it, right? Let's see if I can give you an idea of what this will sound like. Is that F sharp? And keep that G chord short. And that E suspended chord. Minor chord. Now, actually a little simpler here again. I've tuned this instrument to an open D chord. D, F sharp, A, D. I'm hoping that what I demonstrate here will give you people who play instruments with fewer strings an idea of how you can play this song. One of the things that I love about this song is you can't hear a star twinkling, but somehow the composer here, Philip Nicolai, back in 1599, made this music sound like a twinkling star. Yeah, that's what I'm really trying to get at here too. So I'm going to use a pattern like this. You could start with your thumb if you like, use a 3-finger pick. Yeah, playing the banjo, I'm more used to using a fingernail here. So let's give this a try. Uh, I'm not going to use any suspended chords this time. And as long as we're keeping things easy, what's the easiest key to play in on the guitar? The key of G. So I raise the song up to the key of G. Raising it higher, I'll be able to use more strings, produce a more interesting sound. What I'm going to do is use a 3-finger pick here. Start with a pinch, and I'll try to pinch every other beat. Okay, the first and third beats of every measure here. A couple of notes here. To add the suspended chord, we need an A suspended chord. To play that, start with an A chord and add a D to it, that second string, 3rd fret. So you don't want to hold on to that very long. And then go to the D chord, resolves on a D, and then back to the G. Another thing is we've got an E minor chord, and we need to play a high G on that. Add that G note, 1st string, 3rd fret with your little finger. Okay, let's give it a try here. high note. Something like that. Now, when we put it into the key of G, there we went into a key that would be difficult for people to sing, whether you sing it the way I just played or sing it an octave lower. It would be rough for people to play it. But I'm pretty sure this started as a lute song. And this is one verse that Philip Nicolai wrote that didn't get into the hymnal, and I think this will prove my point. And, G isn't so bad for me. Lift high the voice and strike the string. Yeah, not bad for me. And he's talking about strings, so yeah, that does show that it was probably originally written for a lute. Thank you for watching.